What's up guys, welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and welcome back to another versus slash story time video. And in this video we are going to talk about what's his name, Emperor's lost chapter, and of course this is going to be on the challenge quest. Okay, so like always, we'll talk about the challenge quest itself, and then we can talk about something else later on. So, first things first is, as you guys can see, let's talk about my team composition for this one. It's actually not the most ideal team composition because Emperor and Kefka are fighting for those debuff slots, and especially now that Kefka can actually make his debuffs frame thanks to his LD weapon, this is just gonna make it harder for you to actually manage their debuffs. Now granted, I feel like Emperor's debuffs are like the 3 traps are actually much more ideal to be put on the enemy, since it does give a lot of damage output, which you are going to be needing, because I think you will be using almost every single one of your abilities if you are following the same party composition as I am, especially if your Furion is only EX MLB. Just like mine, I didn't EX plus him, and he doesn't have the full summon boards as well, so you might need those extra damage. The most important thing with Kefka is going to be his Shrine debuff, which is the blind slap and the HP silence debuff. Those are the main things that Kefka needs to apply to the enemies, not his Light of Judgment debuffs. Although if you have the Light of Judgment debuffs, the amount of damage you are going to be taking in terms of brave damage is actually going to get much lower. So it's really going to be up to you. If you need the damage output, then I do suggest leaving 3 slots at least for at least one of the bosses for his triple trap, especially with his EX. And if you do have his LD, we'll make it a lot simpler, I think, with this one. As you guys know, I didn't have any luck with Kefka's LD and ended up using a lot of my resources. So in the end, I actually just did the free multi, which I didn't get anything from that. I think I got a couple of 35 CPs, and I went with 20 tickets and never got anything. I didn't make a video out of it because I wasn't really going to push it or push the issue in terms of pulling, so I do apologize for that. Sometimes I do make it, even though I do like 20 tickets, but I feel like those videos are kind of how should I say, it's not that great, especially for people who are watching. Like just doing 20 ticket pool, I mean, it's not that exciting, and I don't really want to elevate your expectations of what I'm going to be pulling. If I feel like I'm going to be pulling for 20 tickets but feel like I might go a little bit higher moving forward, I will make a video. But if I do feel like I'm just going to get stuck with like 20 tickets, then I might as well not make a video out of it. I don't know, let me know down in the comments below what you think about that. But we're getting sidetracked. The name of the game here is, if you do have Kefka and Emperor, is the buff management. Like I said, Kefka's HP silence is much more important than his other debuffs. So the main thing here is if you see the bosses raise their tails, basically the first attack they're going to do is not going to be an HP attack. However, the subsequent attacks after that, they are going to be HP attacks. So you can apply the HP silence then and make sure, and make sure that they don't actually hit you in HP attack. There is a HP requirement, however, they don't actually do a lot of HP damage if they are broken, and make sure you don't get broken. It's about 1,000 HP each, and the HP requirement is less than 30,000 damage. So as long as you don't get like hit for like 9 or 8 or eight or 9 times, then you should be fine. Especially Furion can actually heal himself, so you should be able to recover some of those HP. So maybe 10 HP attacks is doable. However, I wouldn't really push the issue. You know, if you can avoid the HP attack, then that's great. So if you don't have Kefka and you're just bringing Emperor along, I mean, Gilgamesh can actually use paralysis if you're lucky enough to trigger it. Then that means, you know, you can avoid an HP attack. But for the most part, I do like Kefka here, and I don't have Gilgamesh built up, so I didn't really use him. I did manage to get his EX though, so I don't know. I just felt like Furion is probably my better character overall, so I decided to bring him along. Other than that, there's really nothing else for me to talk about in terms of strategy. It was basically me just managing the debuffs, making sure at least one of the bosses have the triple traps, and not framing Kefka's debuffs, especially the Light of Judgment debuffs, those 3, the attack down, defense down, and I think it was a max brave down. Correct me if I'm wrong. I tried not to frame those debuffs not until towards the end, because yeah, I would rather have the traps there for the extra damage. And as you guys will see, I am going to be running out of abilities here, which is pretty surprising, but nonetheless, I have managed to beat it. Probably more turns than I would have liked, but again, I didn't get Emperor's LD. If I did, I think this fight would have been a lot quicker. I can surmise maybe 10 or even 10 to 20 turns earlier, maybe 10 at the very least, just with the amount of output in damage. You know, if you're triggering all those traps and stuff, I think 10 turns less is pretty doable. I wouldn't, yeah, I don't think going more than 20 turns. I think that was pushing it. So yeah, I think if I did get his LD, it would have been maybe 10 turns less. I'd say about that. But other than that, I think that's all I can talk about regarding the Chaos challenge quest. I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about other than, you know, again, just making sure you got HP silence, and you can extend the debuffs of that HP silence if you have Kefka's LD as well. Alright, so story time this video isn't gonna be as long. I am gonna be going back on night shift in the next couple of weeks, so the plan at the moment is I think I'll be able to release Strago's event should you pull normally. But after that, I have so many night shifts, like 2 weeks worth, nearly 3 weeks actually. So what I'm planning to do with the should you pull, I mean, as you guys know, last time I did night shift, I just sort of went quiet for those 2 weeks. I did release some videos, I think. Or did I just... I remember saying I was just gonna not release any videos, but I think I ended up doing it anyway. And at that time, I actually believe I had prepared the videos ahead of time, but this time around, unfortunately, I do not have the should you pulls ahead of time. So what I'm planning to do this time around is, if I am going to be releasing should you pull videos, especially in the next two to 3 weeks, it's probably going to be pretty the quality is not gonna be as great. I'll probably just go to Dissidia DB and go over, you know, all the reworks and stuff like that with you guys using Dissidia DB. Probably along the lines of I think Joseph here does it something like that. I might do something like that because I think in terms of talking about, you know, going through everything, like doing my research and piling it up and doing it one by one, typing it out as well, that takes a lot more time instead of just going on the website and reading it to you guys and, you know, giving you my thoughts overall in terms of whether you should pull on certain banners or not. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not entirely sure whether I will do it that way, but I'm really leaning towards it because whenever I'm on night shift, I just don't really have the energy, you know, to do much of anything, and so I tend to, I mean, I tried to push it last time, and in the previous times I tried to push myself, but I felt like I was so exhausted and never really, you know, never really sounded that I was happy or, you know, excited or have the energy, you know, when I make a video. So that's what I'm leaning towards too. At the moment, I may sound like this, but only because my wife is sleeping. I don't want to be too loud. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys feel like just going through the website, and obviously I will still tell you guys my thoughts on character reworks and whether you should pull or not when we do it like that. Or, I mean, I might just end up not releasing any should you pulls. I guess I'll see how I go. I guess the question is going to be, are you guys okay if I do end up doing any should you pull videos for the next couple of weeks? Are you guys okay with that kind of format, kind of like, you know, Joseph Here's format, where we'll go through the character on Dissidia DB and then just give you guys my final thoughts on those characters? So it won't be summarized, like easy to read, unfortunately. That's the thing. So I guess that's the question. If I do have the energy to do a should you pull, are you guys happy with that format? Okay, so leave down in the comments below what you think. Let me know. I would highly appreciate it if, again, you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it does help this channel, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And of course, follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Monchkinz Gaming. This is Monchkinz logging off. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next level.